Good morning, Namaste.
Namaste,
Today we are
sir.
going to revise some topics, especially the inflammation. Do you read about inflammation after going from class?
Yes, sir.
How many of you raise your hand? Don't lie to me. I am going to ask some things about inflammation. Everybody read it. Who? Not read. Okay. So who is going to define what is inflammation? It is
Local response of living mammals.
Injury from any agent.
one by one. It is local response
Of living
Of
mammals
Mammalian tissue.
for any agent.
So it is a local response of the mammalian tissue but to any injurious agents or injury or trauma. It can be anything. So do you really understand what is injury, what is trauma? I already described you that a foreign body can be injury to body. If a thorn put into any part of the body, it can be worked as injurious agent. Do you understand that or not?
Yes,
And what about in some cases we find that we don't have any injury or any type of trauma or any type of bacterial infection or viral infection or parasitic infection, but still we got the signs of inflammation. So anybody can describe how that can occur in our body? In causative part of the inflammation, the causes of the inflammation, I already described you that it can occur in body without having these type of situations, without any trauma, without bacterial infection, but it can occur. Yes, because of our defense mechanism, it is right. But how? Our defense mechanism is always working in our body, but it is not causing inflammation at any time. Does I have any inflammation? Do you have any inflammation at that present time? Because you are healthy and you always possesses defense mechanism or immune system is always active. Our immune system is always active. It is very clear that our immune system is always active. Otherwise, we are suffering from too many diseases because environment always have too many types of bacteria and viruses inside. So it is not possible that our immune system in healthy condition especially produces inflammation. But in some cases like autoimmune diseases, in autoimmune diseases, what happens? There is a formation of antigen antibody complexes, and these complexes sometimes produces inflammation, like glomerulonephritis. First, you have to remember that itis, if itis is suffixes to any term, that will define as inflammation of that particular part. Okay, particular area. Okay, like tongue. If tongue, what do you call tongue in anatomical language? Tongue? No. No, like abdomen, it will be called yes. Abdomen, like stomach. For example, stomach is also called gastrum. And if itis is affixes to that will be gastritis. So gastritis is the inflammation of the stomach. If duodenum is if inflammation occurs in the duodenum, it will be called duodenitis. Okay. Or if colon is inflamed, then it will be called colitis. Then what will be the inflammation of the tongue will call? Tonguitis. Why not? You know it is not a right term, but you also don't know what is the right term. It will be called glossitis. Glossopharyngeal. Remember? Glossopharyngeal. Then it will be called glossitis. If pharynx is inflamed, then it will be called pharynx is inflamed, then pharyngitis. If larynx is inflamed, then it will be called laryngitis. Okay. What will be called chale? Chale जो है ulcer. Ulcer is right, but what will be the right term for inflammation in the mucous membrane of the lips? Tonsils is present on the lips.
वो तो अंदर होते हैं.
Okay, then what it will be called? The inflammation of the tonsils. Tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis.
It is very simple. You have to put suffix at every term itis, then it will be called the inflammation of that particular part. Okay. If a hair follicle get an inflammatory response, then it will be called folliculitis. Okay. You understand? Folliculitis, tonsillitis, pharyngitis, laryngitis, gastritis. Then what will be called the ulcers in the mouth? It is also termed as what? Blister? No, not blister. It will be called stomatitis. Stomatitis. Okay? So whenever someone tells you what is stomatitis or what is gastritis or what is tonsillitis, what will you define is that inflammations of the tonsils is known as tonsillitis. Inflammation of the pharynx is known as pharyngitis. Inflammation of the larynx will call as laryngitis. And inflammation of the stomach, gastritis. Inflammation of the duodenum, inflammation of the colon, colitis. Okay. So now we will start with some revision. The definition and causes of the inflammation are: inflammation is defined as local response of the living mammalian tissue to injury from any agent. We will define what are the any agents are. So inflammation is defined as a local response of the living mammalian tissue to the injury from any agent. It is the body's defense mechanism. Okay, it is also similar to the immune reaction. But it is body's defense reaction in order to limit and eliminate the injurious agent. Okay. So in yesterday class I already told you that how it will limit the spread and how it will eliminate the spread. So in brief, who will tell me how it will limit the spread or how it will eliminate the spread? And what do you mean by eliminating the spread of that injurious part or limit the part? In which cases it will limit the spread of that injurious agent? In which cases? I already told you. You already tell me that you already learned about that or read about it in book. Then tell me. In which cases that the injurious agent will limit the spread of injurious agent. Anybody? पढ़ाई नहीं की घर पे जाके? सब तो बोल रहे थे पढ़ाई की, फिर please tell me fast so we can go to the next slide.
सर किसी पर्टिकुलर एरिया के अंदर
Inflammation occurs in particular area. Okay, it will also eliminate that spread in that particular area. But in which cases it will limit the spread of that particular injurious agent? Yes. In that case it can also eliminate that particular injurious agent. If there is a cut or nick in my forearm, it will cause bleeding. It may cause inflammation. But in that case, inflammation occurs. It will eliminate all the injurious agent in that nick or in that cut, and that the healing phase occur, and healing will occur, and normalization of the skin will completely occur at that point. But in which cases it will not completely eliminate that and try to limit the spread of that particular injurious disease. कौन बोल रहा है? No, if antigen is occurring at that particular site, antibody will come and antibody will destroy that particular antigen. You have to find something. Try to use your logical system.
अगर किसी जगह पे यानी बारिश हो जाती है तो वो उसके अगल बगल में यानी वॉल फिगर कर लेता है.
Just wall. She is trying to remember what I told, but she is not trying to remember what completely. सही बता रही है, मैंने बताया ना, मैं एग्जांपल दूंगा तो तुम सबको याद आ जाएगा. मॉस्किटो बाइट ना. I give you the example of lava.
हाँ सर आपने बताया.
Yes. If I am not able to completely destroy that thing and immune system is not able to destroy that particular injurious agent, then it will try to limit the spread of that particular injurious agent. Now you remember? I give you the example of lava. If I am not able to completely subside the lava, then I will close the door so it will not go out. Okay? You remember now? Okay? So in that cases especially, it will limit the spread of that injurious agent, followed by removal of the necrosed cell and tissue. I already described you. In the process of inflammation, there are some cells that will die in the process to recovery, but in recovery phase, all that necrosed cell and tissue will be removed and completely healed by the body. And the next step of the inflammation will be healing. So healing will occur. We will study healing in our further lectures. Okay. So the injurious agents that can cause inflammation are, these are the causes that will cause inflammation. First is infective agents. Okay, infective agents are bacteria, it can be virus, it can be toxins of the bacteria or the viruses, it can be fungus infection or it can be parasite. Okay, what do you mean by parasite? What is parasite? Give me a general description. What do you remember or what do you know about parasite? Parasite is and उसको तो
खुद को तो फायदा होता है अगले नुकसान होस्ट को नुकसान
खुद को तो फायदा करते हैं और दूसरे को प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करते हैं, नुकसान होता है. Okay, that is parasite. You have to remember that I will ask you again in one topic that there is a problem in called neoplastic syndrome. Okay, and in that particular topic I will ask you about what is parasite. Okay, and ma'am also taking the classes of parasite.
Yes.
Parasitology.
Yes.
What was the last chapter?
Bombs.
No, Ascaris was the last topic.
Yes, sir.
So second, the question I was asking about how it can cause without any injurious agent, it can cause the inflammation in the body. The answer will be the immunological agents like cell-mediated and antigen-antibody reaction. Okay? In that cases, I also told you the example that will be glomerulonephritis. In that particular cases, what happens? Antigen-antibody complex is formed in our body. It will travel to the glomerulus, which is present at the liver. Where glomerulus is present? Nephron. Kidney nephron is right answer. Okay, so it will travel via the arteries to that particular part, glomerulus part, and at that glomerulus part it will attach there and try to cause, and not try, it will cause inflammation of that particular part, because antigen antibody is not the native part of that glomerulus. Glomerulus does not have antigen antibody, but the antigen antibody complex travels through the artery and lodges at glomerulus. for which body thinks that it is an outside agent. Okay? Do you understand? समझ में आ रहा है कुछ कि वो antigen antibody is not native of that particular part, but it is traveling through the blood and arteries and lodge at the glomerulus part, and then body thinks it is the outside agent and inflammatory process occurs. Okay? Then it will be called glomerulonephritis or nephritis and further. Okay? Then other agents will be physical agents like heat, cold, radiation, or mechanical trauma. Okay? What do you understand by mechanical trauma? Okay, I know you know what is heat. How can injury occur by heat? How can injury occur by heat? No, sudden shock will not come in heat. Yes, sudden shock will come in the consequences of the heat. Like in case of third-degree burn, there will be loss of plasma fluid and it will cause a shock. But we are not talking about the shock here. We are just talking about the inflammation and how inflammation can occur by the heat process.
By burning.
Burning. Okay, I go outside. I stand in the sunlight. There is a burning. There is a heat. And after some time, after 10 minutes, my body temperature is rising. So there is a heat in my body. It will cause, but inflammation.
No, sir. Sir,
हाथ जल जाना ठीक है तो कैसे हो I already told you
गरम
that
पानी से
गर्म पानी से गिर जाता है तो फफोले हो जाते हैं. Yes, it is an inflammatory process. नॉर्मल थ्रेशोल्ड को अगर पार कर ली कोई चीज और उसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम होगी तो प्रॉब्लम डेवलप होगी. ठीक है, लिटिल बिट कोल्ड यू कैन इजीली हैंडल, बट टू मच कोल्ड लाइक -25 डिग्री सेल्सियस, 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस, you cannot handle that.
Yes,
You
sir.
can handle easily 30 degrees Celsius or 37 degrees Celsius because our temperature is also 37 degrees Celsius. We can easily handle the 37 degrees Celsius water, but we cannot handle 100 degrees Celsius water or 90 degrees Celsius water. It will cause burning in our hands. Okay? It is also called scalding. SCALDING. In mathematical you already, I think you learned about scalding. In one medicine, there is symptom that patient suffered from scalding. Don't learn? Okay, let's forget about it. Then next will be the physical agents. Physical agents I already told you. Mechanical trauma will, that is so easy. I take a stick, beat with it. There will be two scars in that particular area. Present or not? हाथ आगे किया, बहुत जोर से स्टिक लगी, यहाँ निशान पड़ जाता है ना थोड़ी देर में.
हाँ, sir.
What is that? That is an inflammatory process. Okay. So inflammation is present at every part of our body, and it is present at many times. But we don't know what is inflammation. So we don't understand what is happening in our body. We just thought खून निकल गया होगा अंदर से, चमड़ी में आ गया होगा, इसलिए लाल लाल हो गया. यही सोचते हैं. नो, शी थिंक समथिंग एल्स. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? नर्व निकल गई होगी, ब्लड नहीं, नर्व आ गई मेरे ऊपर, इसलिए. So chemical agents like inorganic poisons and inert materials such as foreign body. I already told you, if a foreign body like thorn is present or something else, it can be anything. Foreign body can be anything. If anything enters in the body which is not body's part, body will try to defend it and causes inflammation to remove it from completely. Okay? Now signs of inflammation. तो मैंने चला दिया. So what are the signs of inflammation? Redness, swelling,
heat,
pain,
or
and
loss of function.
loss of function. Okay. So Celsius, firstly the four cardinal signs of the inflammation, that will be the redness, swelling, heat, and pain. Also known as rubor, tumor, pallor, and dolor. Okay. And the fifth one is given by
Virchow.
Okay. The fifth sign will be loss of function, functio, lesio. Okay.
कौन सी language है?
Now you remember what are the cardinal signs of the inflammation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what are the cardinal signs of the inflammation?
Redness, swelling, pain, or pain. Loss of function.
Heat, pain, loss of function. Okay. Now try to remember what of these functions do you feel in your life? Whenever there is an injury in your body, कभी ना कभी तो साइकिल से गिरे होंगे, कभी ना कभी टकरा के नीचे गिरे होंगे, क्या क्या मिला इन्फ्लामेशन में से? You feel swelling,
Redness भी हुई.
you feel swelling. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes you feel swelling. There will be pain. 100% pain will be there. Okay. Then redness will also present, and heat. Why burning will present? You don't know what is the heat feels like. If you touch that part, it will be warmer than the other parts. That is heat. Okay. And loss of function is not always present, but present. If there is an inflammation in my knee, elbow joint, okay, it can cause loss of function. Tendinitis, if occur in that particular part, there will be loss of functions of abduction, extension, flexion. Okay, so that's why loss of function is present. But four are the main cardinal signs, which will be the heat, pain, redness, and swelling. And the last one is loss of function, which is not compulsory present all the time. Okay. Now types of inflammation. So inflammation, there is commonly two types of inflammation. First will be the acute inflammation, and second will be the chronic inflammation. Okay. Sometimes between that, subacute inflammation is always present at sometimes, but not always. Okay. So subacute inflammation will be the more longer duration of the acute inflammation and less duration from the chronic inflammation. So subacute will be the subacute inflammation is the inflammation present between the acute inflammation and the chronic inflammation. It is more longer than the acute inflammation and less longer than the chronic inflammation. Okay, so acute inflammation, depending upon the defense capacity of the host and duration of the response, inflammation can be classified as acute and chronic. These are the most common types of inflammation, acute and chronic. We will learn acute in vast detail. Okay, and this is the question which was asked many times in the examination. Okay, acute. What is the acute inflammation, and what is the vascular events of that acute inflammation, or what are the cellular events of that acute inflammation? Write down in 20 marks. Okay, so it is most common question. Please understand very carefully. Okay. So acute will be, the acute inflammation is of short duration, lasting less than 2 weeks, and it can occur as soon as within 1 minute. Okay. For example, if someone is very sensitive to heat or sun heat, it will go out in sun heat, and within 1 minute there is redness of whole body. It is also redness is the sign of inflammation. This is then inflammation can occur within 1 minute. So acute inflammation is of short duration. Short duration, it is not always mean it will occur very quickly. Short duration is also means it can occur very quickly and also ends with very quickly. Like it will start within 1 to 2 minutes and it will completely over within 2 days. 2 days. I want here it was
Last
written that 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay, but it can also end within 2 days, 1 month, 1 day, 5 days. Okay,
2
so
weeks
acute
is like
inflammation is of a short duration, lasting less than 2 weeks, and represent the early body reaction, resolves quickly, and is usually followed by healing. Usually followed by healing. So in 99% of cases, the acute inflammation ends with healing process. Okay. Now the main features of acute inflammation are accumulation of fluid and plasma at the affected site, which will cause swelling. Okay. Intravascular activation of the platelets. Why does platelets activate there? Yes, injury can occur and platelet can activate. What will it cause? What it will cause? What are the functions of platelet in the blood?
Blood clotting.
So if a injury occurs at my cubital fossa and the brachial artery is ruptured here, the platelet will occur, platelet will activate and formation of clot will occur, so the bleeding can be stopped and the functions of the normal functioning can be resumed. That's why platelets were activated and stop the bleeding by formation of clot. Okay. Third will be polymorphonuclear neutrophils as inflammatory cells. What is polymorphonuclear neutrophils? Do you know what is neutrophil? Granulocytes. And it is the part of WBC. Yes, so WBC, neutrophils is the part of WBC, and WBCs are the cells of immune system. WBCs are the cells of immune system. One of the cells of the immune system. And the polymorph nuclear neutrophils are the cells most commonly acute cells and also the cells of acute inflammation. Okay? Neutrophils will act firstly when there will be acute inflammation. In chronic inflammation, there are different types of cells. But in cases of acute inflammation, neutrophils are the first cells to come at that particular site and try to do its particular work. Okay? So, accumulation of fluid and plasma at the affected site, intravascular activation of the platelets, which can cause stoppage of bleeding and it will cause swelling, and polymorph nuclear neutrophil as inflammatory cells, it will cause acute inflammation. No, it does not cause. Yes, it causes phagocytosis, which will kill the bacteria or the injurious agent. Okay, so it is the first cell of the acute inflammation, polymorph neutrophil. Now, second is chronic inflammation. So, chronic inflammation is of longer duration and occurs after delay, either after the causative agent of acute inflammation persists for a longer time. So, acute inflammation can be converted into chronic inflammation. But for that particular reason, it have to be persistent. So, acute recurrent attacks of the acute inflammation can cause chronic inflammation to set in. Okay. So, if acute inflammation is present in the body, what it will cause? Either it will cause chronic inflammation or it can also cause complete healing. Okay. Acute inflammation आया, उसने क्या किया कि वहाँ पे इन्फ्लेमेशन डेवलप किया, इन्फ्लेमेशन डेवलप करने के बाद वो क्या हो सकता है, हीलिंग के प्रोसेस में जा सकता है. बट अगर वो थोड़ा सा हील हुआ और वापस से इन्फ्लेमेशन डेवलप करने लग गया, वापस से एक्यूट इन्फ्लेमेशन हो गया, फिर वो क्या कर सकता है, इट कैन गो इनटू द
chronic inflammation.
Okay, so either after the causative agent of the acute inflammation persists for a long time, or the stimulus is such that it induces chronic inflammation from the beginning. So if the stimulus is very low, then it will not cause acute inflammation. It will try to develop very insidiously, बहुत धीरे धीरे डेवलप होना शुरू करता है और chronic inflammation